Imagine this. You're brilliant, creative, full of ideas, and yet you find yourself stuck, staring at the screen, scrolling endlessly, delaying the very tasks that could change your life. You tell yourself you'll start tomorrow, but tomorrow comes, and the cycle repeats. And if done, you wonder, why do I, someone intelligent and capable, keep procrastinating? The truth is, procrastination isn't stupidity. It isn't laziness. It's psychology. And the smarter you are, the more likely you are to fall into its trap. Smart people procrastinate because intelligence comes with imagination. The more vivid your mind, the more clearly you can picture failure. You don't just see the task, you see every possible way it could go wrong. You imagine the embarrassment, the criticism, the disappointment, and that imagination paralyzes you. It convinces you that starting is dangerous, that action is risky, that delay is safer. So you wait, you distract yourself, you scroll, you clean, you do anything but the thing that matters, and the cycle continues. But here's the painful truth. Procrastination is not about time. It's about fear. Fear of failure. Fear of imperfection. Fear of not living up to your own expectations. Smart people set the bar high. They want excellence. They want perfection. And because perfection feels impossible, they delay. They tell themselves, I'll start when I'm ready. But readiness never comes. And so brilliance becomes paralysis. Think about the moments when you've delayed something important. A project, a dream, a conversation. You weren't lazy, you were scared. Scared of what it would mean if you tried and didn't succeed. Scared of proving your doubts right. And so, procrastination became your shield. It protected you from failure, but it also robbed you of success. Psychology calls this the perfectionism trap. Perfectionists believe that if they can't do something flawlessly, they shouldn't do it at all. And so they wait endlessly for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, the perfect mood. But perfection never arrives. And the longer they wait, the heavier the burden becomes. Smart people also procrastinate because their minds are wired to analyze, to dissect, to explore every angle. But overthinking kills action. It convinces you that you need more research, more preparation, more certainty. And while you're busy thinking, time slips away. Opportunities pass, and you're left with regret. But here's the emotional punch. Procrastination isn't just a delay. It's self-betrayal. Every time you procrastinate, you break a promise to yourself. You tell yourself you'll start, and then you don't. And each broken promise chips away at your confidence, your self-trust, your identity. You begin to see yourself not as someone who acts, but as someone who delays. And that identity becomes a prison. The psychology of procrastination is also tied to dopamine. Smart people often chase stimulation. They crave novelty, excitement, challenge. But the tasks that matter, writing, building, creating, are often slow, tedious, uncomfortable. And so the brain seeks shortcuts. Social media, entertainment, distractions. Each scroll, each click, each notification gives a hit of dopamine. And the brain learns why face discomfort when pleasure is one tap away. But here's the cost. Procrastination steals your future. It robs you of opportunities, relationships, growth. It convinces you that tomorrow will be different. But tomorrow is just today repeated. And the longer you wait, the harder it becomes to act. So how do you break free? It starts with identity. Stop telling yourself, I'm a procrastinator. Start telling yourself, I'm someone who takes action, even when it is uncomfortably. Because identity shapes behavior. When you see yourself as someone who acts, you act. When you see yourself as someone who delays, you delay. The second step is to embrace imperfection. Smart people procrastinate because they fear flaws. But flaws are not failure, they're growth. Every masterpiece began as a messy draft. Every success began as an imperfect attempt. Waiting for perfection is waiting forever. Action creates progress. Progress creates confidence. Confidence creates excellence. Third, shrink the task. Smart minds see the big picture, but the big picture feels overwhelming. Break it down. Start small. Write one sentence. Make one call. Take one step. Because small actions build momentum. And momentum destroys procrastination. Fourth, reframe fear. Instead of asking, what if I fail? Ask, what if I succeed? Instead of imagining embarrassment, imagine pride. Instead of picturing criticism, picture impact. Fear is imagination misused. Use your imagination to fuel action, not delay. And finally, practice reflection. Ask yourself, why am I delaying? What am I afraid of? What story am I telling myself? Reflection reveals the hidden psychology behind procrastination, and once you see it, you can change it. But here's the deeper truth. Procrastination is not just about tasks. It's about life. Smart people procrastinate on dreams, on relationships, on opportunities. They wait for the right time, the right mood, the right certainty. But life doesn't wait. Time doesn't pause. And the cost of procrastination is not just missed deadlines. Missed lives. Imagine yourself 5 years from now. Do you want to be the person still stuck in cycles of delay? Still waiting? Still imagining failure? Or do you want to be the person who broke free? Who embraced discomfort? Who turned fear into fuel? Who built a life aligned with action? That choice is yours. And it starts today. Because here's the viral truth. Procrastination is not a time problem. It's an identity problem. Change the way you see yourself, and procrastination loses its grip. See yourself as someone who acts, and you will act. See yourself as someone who grows, and you will grow. See yourself as someone who rises, and you will rise. So stop waiting. Stop scrolling. Stop telling yourself tomorrow will be different. Make it different today. Take it this step. Write the sentence. Start the project, because your future depends on it. And once you embrace that, you'll realize you've had the power all along. And if these words spoke to you, if you felt yourself in this story, don't just let it fade away. Hit that like button so more people can break free from the same cycle. Subscribe to Asterisk Rise and Reflect Asterisk, because every day we uncover the psychology that shapes your life, and together, we're building a community that grows stronger with every reflection. Share this with someone who needs to hear it today. Because when you spread this message, you're not just supporting a channel, you're sparking transformation in someone else's life.